It actually took a very tough beating to get me out of the sport.
My partner.
Manny Pacquiao. He beat the hell out of me. Manny Pacquiao would be right in front of me. He would, after hitting me 15 times,
Manny Pacquiao stood in the gym, the air thick with the rhythm of fists pounding leather. Before him moved a familiar figure in the mirror. Older, yes, but somehow untouched. At 46, for years removed from the spotlight, Pacquiao wasn't shadow boxing for cameras. He moved with the same ferocity and speed that
then I would be ready to hit him, and he would be wide open, and I couldn't pull the trigger. I just couldn't pull
that once made him a legend. Boxing is supposed to be a young man's sport. And yet, there he was, defying everything we thought we knew that OscarDeLaHoya, came to see if the fire still lingered, to see if the legend had faded into memory, or if he'd reignited something deeper. What I found wasn't nostalgia. It was
passion in every combination and the undeniable spark that still danced in Pacquiao's eyes.
Oscar laughed. He's too little. He's too little, that guy. There's a difference of almost 20 pounds.
Nostalgia. It was war. Manny wasn't chasing headlines. He was chasing the fight, that raw, unfiltered thrill of combat. The ring, after all, is where he's always felt most alive. Watching him train was like stepping into the past, but with sharper edges. Pacquiao, the only man to win titles in 8 weight divisions, now trained with the precision of a surgeon and the...
Want to see that fight? People are excited. He's the guy that's coming up. He's fast, Oscar, but eventually your size is going to break him down.
And the ferocity of a teenager. Every punch was calculated chaos. Every movement had intent. His footwork was fluid, relentless. His punches exploded like fireworks, controlled, devastating. I'll be honest, I was wrong. Time hadn't dulled him. It had sharpened him.
It's not right. I can see it in his eyes. He's not even throwing punches. What is he doing?
Pacquiao swings his left hand.
When I asked the question on everyone's mind, why now? He didn't flinch. His answer, asterisk, because I still love this. And that landed harder than any left hook. Real fighters don't retire. They wait. They wait for the right opponent, the right moment, the right spark to reignite the warrior spirit. That Pacquiao's comeback isn't about reliving glory. It's about passion. It's about the call of the ring. Young fighters line up to dethrone the legends, but they don't realize the legends aren't defending titles. They're defending purpose. I remember the first time I faced Pacquiao. His speed, the southpaw angles, the relentlessness. I walked into that fight thinking I was ready. I was wrong. That night, I wasn't facing a man. I was facing a force of nature. That memory used to haunt me. Now, it inspires me that Pacquiao's camp doesn't allow cameras. It's not for secrecy, it's for respect. But sometimes footage leaks. What you see in those stolen clips is a legend still writing his story. Even during sparring, he doesn't slow down. No sorkuts, no veteran pace. Every drill is treated like a title bout. Every pivot, every punch holds weight. Not the weight of ego, but of legacy. During one session, I watched Pacquiao pause mid-combo to correct Barrios' footwork. The young fighter stood frozen, absorbing lessons not from a coach, but from a master. And oh mercy, I joked, but there was truth in it. The ring teaches, and Pacquiao is his professor. Critics said age would betray him, but I've come to believe age can be a weapon. Younger fighters throw fast. Veterans throw smart. And smart always lands cleaner. Pacquiao's recovery regimen is just as intense as his workouts. Cold baths, massage therapy, strategic rest, no indulgence, no sofnies. Young fighters think pain fades. Legends learn to live with it and train through it. I once scoffed at faith in the ring. Not anymore. I've seen how Pacquiao's spirituality centers him. Before training, he kneels in silent prayer. It's not for show. It's a form of control. His peace gives him purpose. And that's more dangerous.
Pacquiao is making DeLaHoya look old, slow, ineffectual. DeLaHoya has zero answers.
Dangerous in any right hook. Boxing is 50% physical, 50% belief. And Pacquiao believes. His punches don't just hurt, they tell a story. A story of discipline, sacrifice, resilience. Meanwhile, I watch Barrios, talented, hungry, full of swagger. But behind every flurry of punches, I saw flashes of hesitation. Doubt. That's the difference. When the bell rings, raw energy will meet unshakable focus. And experience? It doesn't flinch. Fight night is more than a sporting event. It's a referendum on belief. July 19th won't be just another date on the calendar. It'll be a clash of eras. Barrios, bold and brilliant, represents the future. But Pacquiao? He's proof that legends don't fade, they evolve. This isn't about age. It's about edge. And Pacquiao's edge is still razor sharp. I watched the press conference.
Beat up in training camp when preparing for Pacquiao. So I knew that was the end already for.
This isn't about age. It's about edge. And Pacquiao's edge is still razor sharp. I watched the press conference. The weigh-in, the stare-down. Every movement told a story. Barrios stood tall. Pacquiao stood calm. One was trying to prove something. The other? Just being who he's always been. This fight isn't just for fans. It's for every kid in a Manila gym shadowboxing with dreams. It's for everyone who believes greatness isn't defined by time, but by heart. If you think Pacquiao is here for one last paycheck, think again. He's here.
Pacquiao was just coming up.
Yeah.
Pacquiao was like the star in the.
By heart. If you think Pacquiao is here for one last paycheck, think again. He's here to remind the world of who he is and what he still has to give SO when the bell rings on July 19th. Don't just watch the fight. Witness the return, because legends don't retire. They rise. Still believe in the heart of a champion? Then bet on the man who never gave up the crown. Smash that subscribe. Drop your pick in the comments. Fight night is coming. Your original piece is a powerful, cinematic tribute to Manny Pacquiao's return to the ring, told through OscarDeLaHoya's eyes. It mixes personal reflection, emotional storytelling, and analysis of boxing as both sport and philosophy. It's raw, passionate, and very immersive. However, it was a bit long, repetitive, and slightly hard to follow in places, since it was written more like a stream of consciousness monologue. So I rewrote it into a polished narrative with clear sections, proper pacing, and stronger flow without losing any of the emotion or power. Opening Hook the Legend returns. This draws the reader in with a question. What goes through a fighter's mind after years away? It builds suspense and emotional depth from the first line that I added an intentional dramatic pause structure to mirror how sports documentaries are narrated. Hooks are crucial. You want your reader to stop scrolling and feel the gravity of the moment. I created a cinematic visual. Manny in the gym, training like a ghost from the past, still moving like lightning. We contrast his age, 46, with his energy, speed, and precision to set the tone and establish Pacquiao.
Scared. And I said, you know what? The spark's not there. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it.
Pacquiao as timeless someone who breaks the rules of aging and boxing expectations. I added emotional weight by making Oscar's voice more personal. I was wrong. Time hadn't dulled him. It had sharpened him. This gives credibility. A former rival humbled by Manny's return, IT shows that even greats like De La Hoya are in awe of Manny's enduring greatness. Pacquiao says, because I still love this. I emphasize that one line, treating it like a punchline. Then I explore the idea that real fighters don't retire. They just wait for the next spark. IT answers a big question. Why is he coming back when there's nothing left to prove? I showed how Pacquiao not only trains hard, but teaches young fighters like Barrios in real time. I turned Barrios into a symbol of the new generation. IT builds a contrast between you.
Love to fight Pacquiao again because he kicked my ass. But yeah, there were many fighters out there who I would have loved to fight 2 or 3 times.
Youth and wisdom, the central theme of the piece. I reframed aging not as a disadvantage, but as a secret strength. Age sharpens the edge. Speed fades. Precision lasts. T.O. flipped the script and challenged the cliche that young is always better in boxing. This part explored psychological warfare in boxing. Barrios has speed. Pacquiao has belief, control, and inner peace.
So you had enough of Pacquiao is what you're saying.
Oh, trust me. Right when I walked into the ring, I had enough of Pacquiao.
Because in elite sports, belief beats bravado. Calm beats chaos. The final build-up talks about the press conference, the weigh-in, the tension in the air. Fans clash online. Experts place bets. Everyone's watching. T.O. give the story momentum and make the reader feel like they're part of the moment, I brought it back to the big picture. Pacquiao isn't just fighting Barrios, he's fighting for legacy, for his country, for every kid watching in the Philippines. This makes the story bigger than boxing. It becomes about inspiration. Bet on the man who never gave up his crown. I added a media-style closing. Smash subscribe. Drop your pick in the comments. T.O. give it a social media-friendly ending, perfect for YouTube. I kept the spirit of your writing. Heartfelt, intense, visual, and rooted in boxing truth. I organized it into tight, impactful segments. I made it more readable and emotionally powerful, like something you'd hear in a Netflix sports documentary or see in an HBO Fight Night trailer. Like and subscribe our channel.